But yeah, like little things like that. It's like when you think about that, all these cereals and like.
What's going on, guys? It's driver testing day down here with a net. We've got the Flightscope going. We're going to crank out some different swings. We got Callaway, we got TaylorMade, we got Titleist up in here, lots of Project X, and if I'm feeling a little freaky, we're going to throw in that AutoFlex as well, see what's going on. All right, so we're going to see where the game's at. It's been a little rough over the last few weeks, so today we're going to load it up and see what's going on. What's going on, guys? I know you're expecting the full driver breakdown, looking through all the shafts, the head combos and everything else, but I went home to edit the footage, go through everything, and it kind of sucked. Wasn't happy with any of it. I wasn't happy with my game. I wasn't confident. I was pretty self-conscious about the numbers I was putting up, thinking about the kind of the social media interface in terms of being judged. I feel like I wasn't doing the things that I should be doing based on everything else that I'm doing. So I felt pretty uneasy on that. Some of the footage, couldn't even see my face. So yeah, that's why this is a driver breakdown, because I basically had a breakdown doing it, guys, all right? This isn't always easy, and to be honest, the review side, I love equipment, but with the setup that I have, with everything else going on, it's kind of know what I do. I mean, I love equipment. I'm gonna tell you all about those drivers and the shafts right now, but basically, the confidence in my own game and the confidence to really show that wasn't coming through. And that's kind of more on me. And I'm going to do another video like this, just kind of about all that stuff, because I know a lot of people can relate to it. I've related to a lot of people in the past in terms of how they feel about certain things. And I'm going to talk about that as well. But let's break down these drivers right now. So, number one, big question everyone's asking, AutoFlex shaft. Man, that's unnerving. It's a wild, wild thing, guys, all right? So, I did see some good numbers. It didn't do anything more than the other shafts that I got. It didn't give me any huge increases. The one thing it did give me was the thought that I actually might miss the net. And I mean, you can't miss the net. Normally, even if you shank an iron, you still hit the net. With the AutoFlex, I mean, that face is coming in all over the place. Sometimes open, sometimes heel, sometimes toe. I'm sure I could get used to it over time, and if my swing was more on point, it might give me better results, but man, it's wild. I mean, it was all over the place. Like, I'd tee up, I didn't know what was going to happen. So, kind of hard for me to say that that would be a good thing in terms of my game, especially when I don't know where it's going to go off the tee anyway. So, AutoFlex, you might pick some distance up, especially if you've not got the optimal build right now, but be ready to get some extra insurance. Let's put it like that, okay? In terms of the heads, we got SIM, we got MAVRIK, Triple Diamond, and we got the TSI. Lots of heat on the TSI right now. My take would pretty much be the SIM, for feel, sound, and performance, is unreal. I'm still getting a little bit more used to the head shape, just because I've been such a Callaway guy for a long time. So, that kind of leads on. In terms of consistency and comfort level, for me, the Callaway is awesome. All right, it's got the heavier shaft in there. That was giving me some slightly lower club head speed, but then the ball speed was pretty much maintained. All right, so in terms of how I was transferring energy, I was probably just hitting it more out the middle because the swing was a little bit more feel with the heavier shaft for me. Who knows? But the Callaway, the feel is a little harsher than the SIM. The SIM really does absorb, and I mean, it feels super hot. All right, the Callaway feels great, but it's a little harsh off the face. You don't quite get that purely satisfying feeling you do from the SIM. And then, TSI 3, when I first got it, I thought it was too old school, looking down. Very kind of, as close as you could get a 460cc driver to look like a persimmon head, basically. It's kind of how I would talk about it. But then I hit it a few times, and it's fast. And then you start to get used to that look a little bit more. It's very classical, it's all black. And yeah, I'm digging it, guys. I'm digging it. So I think with a little bit more time, with a few different shaft options and really getting dialed in, the TSI could play. That could play. Alright, so in terms of a review, this probably helps nobody. Alright, it didn't help me doing it because it messed me up in terms of how I felt about my game, even more so. And like I said, I'm going to talk about that. Basically, I want to find out how much I want to achieve with the game itself, how much I'm willing to work, how much I'm willing to push past, because there's kind of a lot of scar tissue from before, all right? And that's not a bad thing. To overcome that and work through it, I know that I can do that, but you gotta be fully committed. You gotta be willing to voluntarily take it on, knowing how much you're gonna have to go through. There's gonna be setbacks, kind of work through it, and that's on me, guys, all right? I'm gonna work on that, and I'm gonna see where I get to, okay? Not forgetting the shafts. My guys at Project X, you can't go wrong. They're the best shafts for the athletes of today, without question. We've got the smoke green, 70 TX Hulk. That thing is just solid. I've talked about it a ton over time. Basically, you put a good swing on it, get the club head where it needs to be, that shaft stands up, gives you great ball speed, awesome control. Pretty much, if I'm swinging well, that's my go-to, no question. All right, the RDX Blue, I've got 70 TX as well. It's quite similar to the smoke green. A little bit more feel to it, and obviously it's counterbalanced. So I think a little bit more work with that is pretty cool because the feel is not a million miles away. Obviously slightly more feel than the smoke green because that is just solid. I think that shaft's pretty awesome. All right, same for the RDX Black, and I'm not just loving on Project X because they hook me up all the time, although there's part of that as well. All right, the RDX Black, I really like that. We've got 80 TX in the driver. Like I said, it allows me to hit the middle a little bit better, but speed comes down, so that's something I kind of consider over time. But the RDX Black is really similar to the profile I used for such a long time, like the Diamond White. Slightly more feel in the butt, strong everywhere else, super solid shaft, awesome. It's pretty awesome, okay? The other one was the Riptide Even Flow Black. Not one that I'd used an awful lot before now because I use the smoke green so much. And that thing was great as well. All right, that was in the Titleist. So it's a slightly different feel, but it gave me some really good ball speed numbers. Looks pretty cool as well, guys. All right, so like I said, not the video I absolutely anticipated putting out for you. If you're still watching at this point, yeah, I've kind of made it more about me than I did the clubs, but hopefully you took something out of that, guys. Right, like I said, I'm going to post something up just about everything, about kind of mindset, mental health, the game, the challenges, fitness, business, all of that stuff, guys, right? Because there's always a lot going on, all right? I did cherry pick out some numbers. Y'all can check them out here. Like I said, I was pretty self-conscious in terms of some of the numbers. Game's not that good. I haven't been focusing, I haven't been working the way that I should have been, and then it looks like that. It looks like that. So I managed to pull some numbers out. I managed to get the club head speed up to about 120. We got some decent carries out there. Ball speed crossed 180 one time. Nothing crazy in today's world. I need to get into the mindset. I need to get into my own training, basically, because with everything else going on, it's easy to get kind of stuck down, just doing the things that you want to be doing and not really putting in the work that you should be doing, which is definitely where I've been at. So kind of resetting goals, resetting the mind, focusing going forwards, all right? This is the weirdest club review you've ever seen, but hey, we're here to disrupt, here to do things differently, so we even did this differently, guys, all right? If you're gonna get a new driver, Tour Issue Golf, that's gonna be awesome. Either way, hit what you're gonna find, make sure you test, make sure you find the right shaft. They all work, guys, right? They all work. So find the one that's coolest, the one that you wanna play, and the one that absolutely allows you to drop bombs off the tee, guys, all right? So, either way, end of this video. There's a lot more to come, guys, all right? We just went over 1,000 on YouTube. Appreciate every single one of you. And I won't make such a mess of the videos in the future, all right? But it's also cool for you to see because this stuff isn't always easy, all right? We have to work on it day and night, all right? And you know hard work pays off, so keep your eyes out. Subscribe.